My name is Paul Anderson. I'm the instructor for the Nutcracker Masterclass, and this video is to kind of explain how we cut the jaw opening out on these nutcrackers. They have a jaw that fits in here, just like this, and it just fits right in here in order for the nutcracker to function. What I've got to do this job is a fixture that I've developed over the years that makes it safe and accurate. So develop this jig in order to maybe make these cuts to keep your hands away from the blade. So we're only making a partial cut and then stopping, and that first cut is the most critical, and so you may want to have everything prepped out ahead of time so you don't have any accidents, and have maybe a helper to help you turn it off if that's necessary too. But the most important thing is to keep your hands away from the blade, and this fixture, if you use it properly, you'll be able to hold it back here and away from the blade, and you won't have your hands in danger at any time. This is my just general safety rule whenever I'm using the table saw. It's what I tell people whenever they ask. Keep whatever you're cutting flat on the table, flat down on the table, tied up against the fence. That will serve you well, and keep your fingers clear of the blade at all times. Use your safety equipment, push sticks, those kind of things. Make sure you protect your hands at all costs. In order to do that, we're going to put the sanded and ready torso in the fixture in order to make that cut. So what we do is determine what the front is and then place it into the fixture backwards so that it's facing towards the back handle. You have to do that because of the curve of the blade, and the exit point is going to be the shallowest part of the cut is going to be the out cut, and the deepest part of the cut is going to be where you cut in first. So we'll go ahead and put this into the fixture so it's ready to go. And so I've got some lines marked on there to show where the cuts are going to be, and so we're going to use that to center it into the fixture. Now, the most important part is to make sure that the lines that I've already marked on the top of the nutcracker are parallel with the opening I've got on the jig. If it's a little bit off one side or the other, it won't matter as long as it's parallel. So I'm just going to put some little 1/2-inch cabinet screws in just to hold it in place, and then another screw on the other side to hold that all secure so it's going to be safe to run it through the saw. Okay. All right. We've got the torso attached to the fixture, and I usually will mark that at 2.5 inches down from there on the interior here. We just have 2.5 inches from the top down to here, and that's just a reference point to where the blade is going to be coming out, and that's the point where you stop the saw. Now, it's important to have it all ready to go to shut it off in mid cut so that you're not putting yourself in danger. So I'm going to make a cut part way through, and then this saw has a nice stop. I can use my knee to turn it off without taking my hands off the fixture. Your saw may be different, but if you need to, get a helper to help you with it. This is the most critical part of the operation and where the most danger comes. But what I'm going to do is line this up so that there's a little bit of extra room away from where the jig is, so that I have some room to adjust for the center on the last few cuts. So I'll take a little bit more off one side and the other until I get it dead center, because it's really important the way the whole nutcracker appears when you have the finished product. You want to have that dead center. So that's what we're trying to do, is have centered opening and just clearance for the jaw to fit in. That's what we're trying to do here. So we're just going to get ready to cut, and it's all done upside down. So what we're going to do is I've got a stop block here just kind of loosely positioned, and then we'll start just a little bit away from the edge of that and start on our cuts. One thing I need to mention is the type of blade that I use. I usually try to use a thick rimmed blade instead of a thin rim. It tends to work better, it has less flex in it, and it will cut a little bit smoother cut. If this is all you have, that's fine, but a sharp blade is important, and a thicker blade would be preferable if you have one. The other thing is you've got to crank the blade up all the way. Now this is a 10-inch table saw, and you'll have to have one of these to do this process, but some of them will vary on the height. Just max it out, and the curve of the blade will give me the back cut a little bit higher than the front cut, just because of the way the curve is on the blade. What we're trying to do is just allow for about the 16th or so between the existing opening and where it'll make our first cut right through here. Okay, and then we'll turn that on and start sawing it. And once we get started, we'll saw part way through, stop the blade at the point where it comes out the bottom, and then set our stop on the fence. Here we go. Once the blade is stopped and your hands are clear, you can adjust the stop block. Just have that ready to go so you can just put that in place without putting yourself in danger. And then we just stop it there. And then every cut is going to be stopped in the same place so that all the subsequent cuts are all lined up properly. Okay? Every subsequent cut I'll just make until we cut all this material out, and then I'll start to center the opening so that they're both the same. What I need to explain while the machine was running and too noisy to do, we're going to just put the jaw in here as we're cutting to make sure we have a good fit in it. We don't have it too loose, but not tight either. We just want to be able to get that in there smoothly. Most of the time we can take a little bit off of this in order to adjust it to get the correct clearance when we're making the final fit, and then centered as best as possible. And I'll just use these little calipers to measure the high points on that and make sure they're the same on both sides, just like that. And that will ensure that we have a centered jaw opening for you, so that when you get the final Nutcracker finished, it will look dead center. So that's the whole objective. And after that, we just take it all out and we'll go to the next step. But that'll be when you're in the class, and we'll go over the next step in the class. So here's the finished product. We're trying to make sure that any chip out here is eliminated after we get it sawed out. So I leave it a little bit short, and this blade cut pretty smoothly, so I don't have a lot of chip out, but this is about the cut line. If you don't go all the way to that line, it's not a problem. We can make up for it with the fitting of the jaw, so that's not a problem at all. So we're just trying to get the jaw opening centered with that grain feature that looks so nice in the front.